a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man. Check the wrist, man. Got him hot. Ay, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, pass the pig skin, but he stretch a disc.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On second down, Conner looking for space. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game.
Did.
Right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Brooks Reed was able to find his way to the QB. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Yellow. Go on, Eddie. Mike. Oh, you got deep? Mike.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Marquise Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. On first down, Connor going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
26 Mike. Check pass.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They start the drive with Connor. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 20 carries, 72 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Let's go, D.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Brady. He's got it to Matthews, complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they're on the heels of that nice win last week over the Packers. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
This is caught by Jackson. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but You're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Flush to his right. He's going deep for Brown, and he knocks the ball. Away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
First down, Minnesota.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. After the sack on first down, Brady, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They go play action here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes, coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. It's caught by Coleman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Mahomes now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
26, Mike. 26, Mike. Hey, we got to get 15. Check. Crunch.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Mike 55. I'm here all day.
Mahomes to throw once more. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Deshaun Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point put through by Succop, and it's now 14-0. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing now is Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So we have come to halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Handoff, Coleman, right side. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now a give right side, Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
29, Alpha.
Here's the jet sweep to Pascal. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Connor, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. James Conner, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Mahomes now on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Coleman. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. A little juke. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
It's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And this one's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and it almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Mahomes firing complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. He'll hit Jackson, complete. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the whip.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you... It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Shaheen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Well, they sucked the defense in with a play fake, went over the top.
And I know from past experience, when offenses do that, a lot of times the defense guys are screaming at them, run the ball, run the ball. The offense doesn't really care. They got 6 points.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
On 2nd down now. It's Coleman, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mahomes. This is Coleman with a grab. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Lions have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So this drive spans 7 plays, and Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Hey, 66.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's Coleman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Mahomes now to throw, escaping the pressure right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll run on first down. Coleman, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, so much for the first down.
And they coulda, woulda, shoulda had a first down, but my English teacher's not going to be happy with this one. They didn't.
Coleman. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. open left side is Brown. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Take four.
This is Coleman. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you got to get up there and spike it.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. Well, Charles, an absolutely thrilling finish there at the end, down to the final play. Got it close to the goal line, but couldn't punch it in.
How much fun was that ending, though, for us?
We were standing up.
I had to. You had to get out of your seat for that one. That close to the goal line? Oh, that was fun.
So for Detroit, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll